Hey, I'm Amir with the Amir and Alex Realty team, and today we're going to go on showings with me. We're going to see some nice houses, some shitty houses, not shitty houses, houses that need your tender love and care. Come on in, let's take a look at one of those. We have a Victorian home. They're about 100 years old. This is actually a detached home, but it's relatively narrow, and therefore it has a layout that's very similar to semis. So here you can see you've got this corridor, the stairs to one side, and you've got your living and dining area. There's a bay window here, and then on here you have your living and your dining room. In between them, you would have had some doors here. Sometimes people keep these doors. In this case, they've taken them out. And as we follow through, so you can see this kitchen was renovated. Absolutely never. And everything's on a slant. This is definitely not square or on any sort of flat angle. This house is in dire straits. It needs help. And if you could actually smell through the camera, you would smell a foul stench, a funkiness that would make you want to run out of this house. But that's really where opportunity lies. What people are scared of is what you should be actually drawing to yourself towards, especially in markets like this, where inflation's at an all-time high, prices are coming down. Houses like this are the ones that have the hardest time selling. People do not want non-turnkey. People want turnkey properties and are willing only to pay a certain amount for them. So this here could become a bargain for you to get a property in a wicked location, make it your own, and essentially have it at a fraction of what you would have paid for in January and February's markets. This house will need a full gut, but its bones are actually good, and you have a lot to work with here because on the main floor alone, I can see about 750 square feet, which is nice. Come on now. If you're wondering what this is a vent, and it's probably going from the furnace straight up, so somebody decided to be creative. Like you can't tell, but there's a slant coming out to what would be the back bedroom. This was set up as essentially two apartments. Here you have about a 200 square foot deck. So again, this is actually a big plus, even though it looks like shit and it's gonna fall apart. The reality is getting a permit for a deck is a lot harder than working with what's existing, and then essentially getting it up to snuff, getting the permits for it, and then you'll have this 200 square foot deck in this beautifully renovated Victorian. Here you have a bathroom, which actually looks like it doesn't belong to this home, because it's pretty much the only thing that seems like is a little bit more renovated, but ultimately you're gonna wanna gut this entire bathroom. So let's go into the middle bedroom. It's a smaller bedroom. This is probably about 9 by 9, roughly. The ceilings are super tall, so you have a lot to work with. It's actually surprisingly large. You have the bay window, which is an extension off the family room downstairs. The closet is very small, you can see. So this will not suffice for today's modern wardrobe. So what you can do is you can actually essentially introduce a closet over here. The only downside is you would probably lose that window. So you can maybe stop the closet short or maybe steal a little bit from the hallway. So you can actually bring the doorway and bring it out to here. And all of this essentially gets given back. Realistically, you don't need this space and you can put a linen closet over here. So your closet will go out this way, this way, this way, this way to here. And then this could become essentially a reading nook. And then over here, you're gonna have a linen closet so that you actually have a place for your towels and your toiletries and all of that. As I said downstairs, this vent here, you can see, it's an extension. So it's literally coming up and going into this chimney stack. So this is actually literally, now that I'm up here, I can tell you exactly what it's for. This is an exhaust, and they had no way of tapping it anywhere else. And this is the worst job that I've ever seen. You can see this was a Mickey Mouse job. But again, tremendous opportunity for those people who want to get something and make it their own. This house is only listed for $1,059,000. You can probably get it less than $1 million. You put in about $400,000. This house renovated would have cost you probably over $2 million January and February this year. You can probably finish it all done, 1.4, 1.5. Come on down. In fact, I may buy it myself and sell it to you for 1.8. Okay, my favorite part of any home is the basement. Now this basement has no lights, so we're not gonna go down there. It's freaky. The camera lady is saying to me, there's no freaking way. You're not paying me enough. We don't have insurance. But here's a little summary for you. When it comes down to these Victorians, the thing that you're really looking for is the potential. First of all, there aren't that many of them. So having a true Victorian in Toronto is pretty cool. The restoration of it, as long as there are no limitations from the city, isn't that hard. You gotta get the brick refaced, do some exterior work, you replace the windows, you do the electrical, but remember, you're gutting everything. You're essentially hollowing this house out and then rebuilding it from the inside. When you're done, what you're going to be left with is a house that naturally has charm and character just because it is a Victorian. So it has the bay windows, it has this beautiful brick facade, it has really high ceilings everywhere, and that in itself is already worth a lot. And what you're doing is essentially reviving it and bringing it to the 21st century. And then you have this beautiful, charming home in one of the best areas of the city, South Riverdale. Under 1.5, all in, I can almost assure it just looking at this project. If you bought this in January, February, or any time last year, you might have been paying close to, if not over $2 million. Boom!